Welcome back, Overwatch fans, to another amazing night.
We have a fantastic match tonight, no question about it.
Oh my god, yes!
But the barrage! Make sure they can't even follow up afterwards.
And Wash down 2 in this fight thus far. Make that 3, make that 4 right now here. Dynamic team gets a 4-man tire.
Those who find the picks will save the fight, and they don't really need to save what they've already won.
Break at 3 with the primal rage.
Experience tranquility.
Good evening, gamers, and welcome to Tranquility Gaming. We are here tonight with our All-Star matchup for the Transcendence tier. We bring you the Indigo All-Stars and the Orb All-Stars as always. I am Mr. Yeti. Joining me tonight for her first cast with Tranquility is CB. Welcome, CB. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing wonderful. Really glad to be a part of the Tranquility family now. Like you said, it's my first cast, so I'm looking forward to seeing what some of these players can do and what players I'm going to get to see more of, hopefully going into the next season as we close out Season 9 here.
Well, it's definitely an exciting match to be a part of because it does get a little silly. We do have some standard 1-2-2. Still got to get used to that. That's still a thing that I struggle with at times. A standard 1-2-2 to start us off here for a couple of maps before the silliness kicks in. But we do have 5 maps of exciting Overwatch for you, regardless of the score. It could be 5-0 for one of these teams, but we're still going to show you 5 maps of beatdowns. Just because we're all here to enjoy some silly Overwatch tonight and celebrate these fantastic players on these teams.
I'm very much so looking forward to it. The classic Overwatch you can't go wrong with. 2-2-2 still rolls off the tongue. You were mentioning the Brig and Ryan only brawl. I'm looking forward to that as well. Seeing some good honest with Ryan, not so much with Brig, but like some good honest Overwatch once in a while.
The way it was intended to be played, I say, as a Ryan man. Nonetheless, we will kick it off with just some standard 1-2-2 tonight. We are moving into first and foremost Shambali Monastery. It's a map we didn't actually get into our map pool this season because it was brand new pretty much at the outset here of the out of our playoffs, so we didn't really get an opportunity to put it into our map pool. It's been in comp for a while, and I have to say, it is indeed a map in Overwatch. What do you think of it?
I mean, it very much rings similar to Circuit Royale to me, where it's very defender favored, and also you have this, like, almost a spawn hold with this little high ground where you see the Torb is posted up with their turret right now. It's really, really difficult for the attackers to break through here, and it's a constant upheaval up non-stop high grounds, literally uphill almost the entire way. So we'll see how the attackers manage to break this hold going forward with the Bastion Torb on the defense here.
This first point can be punishing. The Bastion Torb Overwatch 1 troll composition in play here from Indigo, and that is certainly indeed a choice to go with here. But Haruhiro is going to pick up that first kill, Torbjorn v Torbjorn, as God intended, I believe. Some kills trade out in the kill feed here. We see a nice biotic grenade come in from Smugs, putting PDK in the purple and back to the spawn room.
Interestingly enough, PDK and Smugs were some of our champions from Decapitators, and I'm looking forward to seeing which of the two gets the better of them on opposite sides of the teams here. And it looks like in the first volley there, it was in fact Smugs with that anti-nade that set the course of that fight.
Indeed, and the chat banter has already begun. Trudonger pointing out the Torb gap at this point. Not sure which one is gapping the other, as the ultimate charges look pretty similar, but hey, you know what? Torb gap. We'll just go with it for now, as Akua is on the prowl, looking for that Zenyatta here from Chrome Zephyr, trying to find them here. Has to TP out with that recall. Greninja is going to win the tank battle with PDK, but LCS is going to find Frozen here as Haruhiro laying the lead down. here on the cart, as well as Chrome Zephyr lobbying those orbs in towards Aurum here, but not able to connect with any kills just yet, as the kills are gonna kind of slow down. Oh, nice sleep from Smugs, and the finish there, as it looks like Aurum is going to get a little bit of a strong push here, and finally going to be able to push through with that sticky bomb coming out, and that finish onto Haruhiro from Smugs as well.
It was almost kind of looking like Indigo was going to be able to recontest there, even losing PDK early. Just having that natural high ground and that window overlooking the point there made it really, really difficult for them to, you know, break back through and finally close out this point. But that pickoff onto Chrome Zephyr, I think, just solidified it. After that, it was just dominoes falling one by one as they just roll the cart right through into checkpoint B.
Checkpoint A, or checkpoint there taken as we move towards point B here, as a little bit of a producer gap going on right now. Laggy Draggy, he gets the title of Twitch manager, and I swear everything just goes sour. Anyways, here we are back in the game as Chief right now on the Bastion, getting close to that ultimate, which I do wish, and part of me does wish that that bugged ultimate was still in the game for times like this, but I guess I'm glad it's gone in reality. But nonetheless, the trade is on here with this Sigma duel here between Greninja and PDK that has been predominant throughout the early stages here on Shambali. The rock comes in, not able to connect. Transcendence now as well from Chrome Zephyr, going to mitigate a lot of damage there, as Chief is going to push through and find the kills. They're taking out both Frozen as well as, and there goes Delphi from Haruhiro. So it looks like Indigo is going to continue here to hold off Aurum.
Indigo get the better of that fight simply off of Chrome Zephyr being able to build up to that Transcendence before the Gravitic Flux came out. You saw both the Sigmas just poking back and forth with that ultimate, just kind of playing a game of chicken, seeing who was going to let it rip first, and Chrome Zephyr had the Transcendence to counter it first. Delphi managed to get it, but not quite in time, and the Flux comes down, and even the follow-up Molten Core from Haruhiro ends up closing out that fight. We go back into this next fight with those two ultimates on the line for Aurum, but we'll see how they manage to use them to break through this stalwart defense.
Indeed, here we go. Big rock there from PDK is going to get the stun onto Greninja there. It was so nice. We got to see it twice on the production here. Gotta love that. But here comes the push in with that Transcendence from Delphi, trying to lead the way for Aurum to push through, putting some pressure on the DPS for Indigo. But Akua is going to be the first one to get dropped there by PDK. Haruhiro on the flank like the stealthy ninja that Torbjorn is, but not able to find anything. But Greninja does find the valleys below Nepal here. So maybe an interesting choice there for Greninja. We'll see how it works out for him.
You know, the Transcendence is a game-changing ultimate, but the Molten Core isn't really something that you can break a high-ground defense like this with. And it, like I said, it's a constant uphill battle for the offense.
Absolutely, and indeed the uphill battle does continue. It's a tough map. It really is. It's a grueling attack with that kind of that continuous uphill. And this is the last real uphill fight that you have left on this map. So if you could push past this final corner here, it could be a lot easier. And this little side angle does eliminate some of the high ground pressure that does come with this. You can kind of rotate the map, and that's exactly what we're seeing Aurum do here with a nice clean rotation here, forcing Indigo into the low ground here as they try to connect. And there goes Chrome Zephyr very early. So LCS now the only healer left on this Kiriko, and is all alone right now, not getting any target because they know he's just gonna get away there with the teleport. And we do see the ult come in, not able to connect with anything was PDK. However, the presence alone is going to force Aurum back, as Greninja is going to pop the ultimate of his own. Bringing down 3 of them there, including PDK, as that takes down PDK. Haruhiro is getting in there with the Torb Hammer, is going to get taken down. But Haruhiro, just the absolute presence of that man is just enough, and the Torbjorn Hammer is too strong.
Is that Haruhiro's second kill with that hammer? Can we take that hammer away from him?
At least 2.
He's too busted with that. Let's get rid of that and just, you go back to the rivet gun for now, all right? Play honest, some honest Torbjorn here.
Indeed, some honest Torbjorn. And that, I mean, that's just OG Overwatch right there. I mean, all we need now is a level 2 turret, and then we just really get this back to what it used to be. But Haruhiro right now sitting on that Molten Core, a potent ultimate that should be able to turn this around here, especially if they can get it off before Delphi is able to build up that sound barrier. But LCS is taken down in the flex support duel with Smugs there. Smugs, the Season 2 MVP in Tranquility and 3-time champion here in Tranquility as well. Chief will find Akua as the overtime wick begins to burn here for Aurum on their attack. Can they push through here to point B? That is the big question waiting to be answered here, and Haruhiro is sitting on that potent, powerful ultimate here with that Molten Core. The hill is being climbed, though no more high ground advantage as the final push is underway.
You want to keep an eye on Delphi's sound barrier here because that's the #1 ultimate that they're going to want to use in order to keep this cart rolling here, keep the pressure on. Now that we're here in OT, Kitsune Rush going to come out from LCS, and that beat is going to be the perfect counter for it. So we'll see if they're able to keep this going all the way till the end. It's inching ever closer.
The Bell comes in there with the nice cleanse from LCS to try to stabilize this out, but Smugs is going to again win that flex support duel as the kills are now coming straight away for Aurum here, and that's going to be enough. It looks like C9?
It probably would have been enough, but interesting fact about payload maps is you have to be constantly touching the cart in order to continue to progress.
No.
And it seems that Aurum forgot that key fact for a brief moment, slight lapse in judgment, and that's unfortunately where the cart is going to stop. Very unfortunate because at least from the observer side here, it looked like Haruhiro was the last remaining obstacle between themselves and a cap there getting through to the last checkpoint, and they just get stopped short. Just,
you know, I have to feel like perhaps maybe the mere threat of Haruhiro, the raw bastion of masculinity that Torbjorn is, I feel like maybe that threat alone was just enough.
Yeah, he was brandishing his hammer, and they paused for just a brief second as the fear struck their hearts, and just couldn't bring themselves to take another step forward, and the cart just moved on without them. So
exactly,
clearly,
Haruhiro pointing it out in chat just says, "You guys can't handle my Torbjorn." I believe it at this point. That is the truth right there. Haruhiro, champion in Season 8 with the Guangzhou Gangsters as well. So Haruhiro definitely got the hardware here in Trank and showing off the hardware here with that hammer on that Torbjorn. We didn't get the privilege of seeing much Torbjorn this season in any of our actual competitive matches, but you know, maybe the devs will have a little mercy on our favorite not a dwarf man. And coming up here to see the next coming Trank season, I would love to see a little bit of Torbjorn being played here in Trank.
Delphi almost gets caught out there just trying to play a little bit of a cheeky flanking Kiriko on that wall climb there. Chrome Zephyr, very good heads up play. Interestingly enough, we're not going to see Haruhiro busting out that Torbjorn again. It's going to be dueling Junkrats.
Equivalently a gentlemanly move there from both of them. Both, when I say equivalently gentlemanly, I mean not gentlemanly at all, because playing Junkrat is definitely not a gentlemanly move, but nonetheless it is in play. That being said, the kill feed bleeds blue, and by that I mean bleeds indigo, as indigo is pushing through here with LCS on that Lucio, wall riding and generally being useless to his team, but that is just kind of what Amnesia became used to this season with him on that main support role for that team.
Yes, speaking of moves, we got to talk about some of those Lucio moves. They are securing the kills onto I believe, Delphi and Akua, I think was the first one that also fell with that sick wall ride boop, and Akua firing back in kind. But that was some excellent Lucio play. Unfortunately, it's going to get snuffed out before the checkpoint here, and Indigo are going to be forced to take a little bit of a... I was going to say reset, but it looks like they're going to take the scenic route, in fact, actually, as PDK doing a little sightseeing on an excursion.
It's a new map. It's a new map.
He's
you know,
got to explore it a little bit, but he gets caught. Some of the Metal Gear Solid exclamation point sounds. I don't know how to articulate. That. Just
no,
verbally,
that's
but...
fair. Just PDK. PDK! Basically is what we're going for here, is in essence. But he's actually living. Somehow he's still alive. This is borderline inexcusable right now for Aurum. How are you?
He's got the flux. He's gonna let the flux rip, and he lives
to get away. Oh my goodness, PDK! What a legend. By the way, looking for team tier 3. I don't know if you guys... Oh, there he goes. All right, well, that was snuffed out real quick. PDK, though, what a legend. My goodness, there. Sneaking around like he's got something to hide. A bit of a chuzzle maneuver on his part, it seems. But nonetheless, fantastic. That's an inside joke, by the way, for those who don't get it. I'm not going to explain it. But nonetheless, here we go with LCS back on the Lucio. We're getting kind of silly right now already.
Is it your turn now, LCS, to go on the flank? Is it just, are we taking turns going into the enemy backline until they...
Not nearly as successful as PDK was, I'm afraid, but nonetheless, an effort was made by LCS there to try to solo bring that one home, but that just did not happen.
Tag, who's it next? I'm guessing Haruhiro.
I mean, obviously, with that tire in hand, you got to figure the flank is just calling for Haruhiro right now. That tire could be game-breaking here. We actually do see them setting up for the tire, and they find Haruhiro. Oh, and he calls the gap in the chat as well, and I agree. That is a Junkrat gap right there on poor Frozen. Haruhiro and Frozen, by the way, both players for the Guangzhou Gangsters. Both players were chosen as the Transcendence tier, Transcendence tier DPS players. So definitely that DPS core for Guangzhou was insane all season as Frozen finds one of his own as well. But the two from Guangzhou continue to fight it out here. But it looks like Aurum is finally going to be able to hold this one off here, despite our hero's attempt to deadlift. It just was not enough. PDK with 40 health trying to... No, he can't. But he's ults his body. The disrespect from Akua.
Let's see if we can get another touch here. Haruhiro, stopped just a little bit short, and I don't think there's anyone else who can touch. Yeah, Chief there gets kind of caught up on the awning, and that's going to be a pretty convincing hold there from Aurum on the end of point A. That was honestly pretty close with that Riptire from Haruhiro almost opened it up for them completely, but Smugs being able to stay alive on that Baptiste for just so long, just never dying, constantly keeping the team up, even got, I think, a pick or two with that Amp Matrix. Just the raw staying power just helps seal it up for Aurum. Very well played all around. PDK may have stolen the show a little bit, but didn't steal the victory. It was absolutely not plays like that led the Decapitators to the championship, but they are champions nonetheless. It was fun.
We enjoyed it. That's all that matters. We got to see the silliness of that. We got to see some PDK on the flank, and we got to see LCS on the flank as well. The team did not nearly appreciate that very much, as you saw in match chat afterwards. Lots of avoid LCS in the chat, so you hate to see that for the Chilean Wunderkind on the main support. And yes, I did just say that, so that's probably going to get clipped by him and memed on, I'm sure. But here we are. It's too late for me. I can't take it. I can't take that one back. So nonetheless, that's the first round of 1-2-2 here in the All-Star game. And CB, we now are going to be moving to another one of our new Overwatch 2 maps, and that is Circuit Royale. So we probably are going to get to see some more Sigma.
Most likely, and maybe a little bit more long-range hit scan, but knowing these players, you know, Torb and Junkrat can still have their times to shine on this map. Like I was saying right off the bat, Circuit Royale and Shambali Monastery are very, very similar maps in the ways that they are defender favored and the way that they kind of like to favor some of these long-range heroes. So we can see either of those come out. We could just be seeing, you know, round 2, hopefully with less C9s and a little bit more flank routes or less, depending on which team you're rooting for. You know, we could. I think we're in for another treat of a round, as if Shambali wasn't already enough of a treat.
Indeed, absolutely. I expect nothing less from these teams. They seem to be having a good time and doing some pretty fun little creative maneuvers, and it is creating for a very, very fun and enjoyable night of Overwatch here to watch. We definitely appreciate those of you who are tuning in and appreciate your supports. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that follow button and make sure you hit that bell as well so you can be notified whenever we go live. As well, if you are able to and you are interested, you can certainly support us by subscribing, but genuinely just being here alone is enough support for us, and we thank you so much for tuning in as always to Tranquility. But that being said, I think we are getting close to when the teams are going to be getting going here. But let's just quickly, before we get going, I do want to mention there are a few All-Stars who unfortunately could not make it tonight, but I did want to give them appropriate recognition, who unfortunately just could not make it for whatever reason. We have Capital with the Amnesia, who unfortunately could not make it, who is also the MVP this season in Transcendence tier, as well as GLD from the Devil Dukes on DPS, unfortunately could not make it on both of those players on Indigo. And then on Aurum, we have Andy, GDH from the Decapitators, who was not able to be here. And then Orsted from the Death Cards as well. That is your Season 1 Tranquility MVP, going way back there. It's 5 years ago at this point. That's crazy. But nonetheless, 5 years ago MVP and still an all-star here in Season 9. Orsted, unfortunately not able to attend tonight. But nonetheless, the next map looks to be getting ready to be underway here soon, I believe, if production is... Yeah, so they're about to be getting going here. You talk about Circuit Royale. I don't know where you're at with the maps in Overwatch 2. I definitely think Push was a little bit of a miss on the map design, but I feel like Circuit Royale was probably the best, in my opinion, the best of the new maps.
Circuit Royale was definitely very enjoyable. I have a lot of fun playing with that map. It's very unique. Again, it kind of favors these long-range heroes, these hit scans. You see more Sigma on there, whereas it just about every other map, you kind of default to whatever is the meta. But because you have this, like, really unique layout and this really, like, winding uphill battle that you have to go in order to get through that second checkpoint, it really makes for a lot more variety in the comps that you end up seeing when you look at Overwatch 2 as a whole. Going over to Push, I mean, yeah, that's a little bit hit and miss. But I think Circuit Royale was, it's a divisive one, but I think it's a hit. I do quite enjoy this map.
Well, I like any map where you get away from the meta. You know, I feel like Junkertown, I know, is also very divisive in that same way. Like, because the Widowmakers, you know, you get a lot more dive tanks of that. You get Wrecking Ball on that map quite a bit. You get Sigma quite a bit on that map. You know, I love the variety that those kind of maps bring to the forefront here. And, you know, obviously the meta is constantly shifting here. And I say we're going to see Sigmas, but of course, nonetheless, now we are here and we get some kind of creative role switching here. It looks like we have Greninja and Frozen swapping roles here. Greninja now on the DPS and Tyler and Haruhiro switching roles. So we have Haruhiro versus Frozen. Again, the duel continues between the two Guangzhou gangster DPS taking center stage here on Circuit Royale as the tank you would expect is Reinhardt.
Shout out to LCS, you know, trying it out with the Widowmaker, getting clapped with the Junkrat mine, and immediately going, "That's it, gloves off. I'm switching to Sojourn. We're going to the we're going to the busted hero right away. We gave it one life. I'm already not playing around."
I didn't even notice LCS switching over to the DPS, so here we go. But Delphi finds his way to the spawn room, and here comes the charge. Haruhiro putting Frozen into the wall. Lamp comes in from Truedonger to try to stabilize it out, but Haruhiro is going to reign supreme in the first iteration of this Rhine duel. Haruhiro going deep, looking for Greninja, giving him the business in the back rooms. There is Haruhiro, and my goodness, that was very effective.
I remember last map I said, hey, can we take Haruhiro's hammer away? But no, they gave him a bigger one instead, and he's still going to be diffing his contemporaries left and right with it.
Haruhiro right now standing tall in the Reinhardt duel, standing tall in the map, but LCS standing tall there with that railgun shot onto Delphi, taking them down here. And that is going to potentially open up a window here for Indigo to continue to push and pressure in. LCS now with that, or see the amplification matrix now from Truedonger trying to pressure onto Haruhiro with a massive Earth Shatter, and that is going to put 3 on the ground and send 3 to the spawn room there as Akua and Frozen and now Truedonger are taken down. And the role swap, you know, some people may question it from a competitive integrity standpoint, but me, I think it so far worked out pretty darn good.
I mean, you could have fooled me if you said that this was a role swap. Haruhiro looks like a natural on the Reinhardt here. Indigo come in with the Coalescence to kind of mop that up, but honestly, they didn't even really need it. That Shatter was more than enough to send Aurum straight back to the spawn room. And even Frozen, you know, thinking twice about just walking up there with half HP. Gonna go charging right on in, go tackle the problems head first.
I mean, that's one way to go about it. Barely being kept up with that immortality field right there is Frozen. Gonna apply a huge Earth Shatter, though, on the Truedonger, on the Haruhiro. and he just stands over the body. You know what? The rest of the team is just gonna finish them off, but at the same time, with that ult combo there, Chief and Tyler, by the way, my goodness, the soldier ult, the tactical visor combined with the Kitsune Rush is just far too much. But that shatter was just a statement from Frozen.
It was a little moral victory to finally get that monkey off his back, get rid of Haruhiro, but coming back with that Kitsune Rush and that tac visor, wiping the rest of his team out, not a whole lot you can really do. Your shield only lasts so long.
There's 2 down now here for Indigo. Tyler and Chrome Zephyr got staggered out late, swapping to the Mercy now. LCS, the last hope right now for Indigo, is going to get absolutely destroyed, and then absolutely, well, you saw. Absolutely by Greninja, and that is the end of point A here for Aurum, finally pushing through with 3 minutes on the clock.
And they actually managed to do it with no ultimates, just off the back of some of those key pickoffs, and now they can start to build up an ult bank to try and push up through this uphill battle. They do need to watch out for Haruhiro's shatter, which is just about online right now, and as we've seen, can be a fight decider on its own, but they're going to have the ultimates to counteract it. Hopefully a good lamp, a good sound barrier, an amp matrix to maybe make him think twice about letting it rip.
No. Oh no, Haruhiro got left with a free open Earth Shatter window there. LCS, though, in the back line is going to pop that overclock and is going to find himself, well, dead. But he's going to get resurrected here by Chrome Zephyr, the aggressive Mercy res. Tyler getting a kill on the Greninja there with the absolute soldier diff. But Akua right now with an overclock of his own is popping down too. Akua right now on the push as LCS is doing absolutely nothing helpful.
Just trying to stay alive, just trying to survive. You know, 50 HP is all he's got. Just let him live. Okay, Greninja.
Greninja taking out his support teammate. That's a lot of. You feel that pent up rage from all the. Oh my God, Frozen just did it to him. Just did it to him. Just absolutely did it to him, Frozen. My goodness. Oh, Haruhiro is in shambles, folks. Oh, see me. I think Frozen just established who's the superior Reinhardt there.
He's getting tired of being diffed on these hammer heroes. Just let him go with a 360. You can't even do that. That's the most Chad move you can do on a Reinhardt. Like, how do you top that? Like, what does Haruhiro have to do to like try and retake that mantle now? I look forward to seeing, but that's gonna be a hard one to top.
All I know is right now Frozen wins the Reinhardt duel, but here comes the flanking Reinhardt charge, going in with the pin, Haruhiro pinning right after. Frozen is taken down, and Haruhiro is now reigning supreme in the Reinhardt battle. It didn't work, says Frozen.
Okay, we'll give you that one. You're at like a net 0 now with that 360 shatter, and then that, you know, going for that charge play. You get that freebie, but you're kind of like, you know, back on even footing now.
Right, that may or may not have been the play there. But that being said, Haruhiro taken down there with by Akua. You can see the kills kind of trading out right now. LCS finding Delphi, but we're seeing kind of, again, the trading kill feed here. We see a Kitsune rush into the teabag from Chief. That is a slightly hasted teabag, folks. That's pretty impressive.
Got to be able to teabag with maximum efficiency, and that's what the Kitsune rush allows you to do.
Man, that True Hunger says what we're all, man. I get that. That's a mood right there. But Haruhiro right now with an Earth Shatter, but nonetheless not able to use it just yet. Akua getting around the corner with that overclock, trying to find LCS, takes down LCS. A couple more shots there with the overclock, not able to find anybody else. Tyler with that tactical visor finds nothing, and Frozen right there is going to take down Chief. Earth Shatter from Haruhiro finds nothing. And now it looks like Aurum is going to get the push through here. 1 meter left, and that is that's a strong push there from Aurum.
115 on the time bank doesn't necessarily look all that impressive when you look at it, but on Circuit Royale, that is massive because most teams don't even complete the whole map. Having that with that plus 1 minute time bank is going to be extremely important if we find ourselves going into OT, but that's gonna depend on what Haruhiro and Frozen have to say to one another as we go through Indigo's attack phase here. Just Haruhiro falling a little bit early there and the shield gone just opens up the floodgates for Aurum's DPS ults to come out uncontested. You have the overclock, you've got the tac visor. The rest of Indigo just kind of have to fall back or fall to the ground.
Indigo now is looking to rally back here. They got 1:15 left in the time bank, does Aurum. So Indigo going to have to kind of mix it up here. We see Frozen bringing out the different look, bringing the Doomfist out, the hero that was meta for about 2 weeks. And then Blizzard decided that wasn't fun anymore. So we're back to now Doomfist being a bit of a questionable pick again. But up against Haruhiro on the currently on the Reinhardt, we haven't seen them look to change. We see the same role swaps here as well. LCS still on DPS with Chief moving to support, Tyler on the DPS, as well as Greninja on the... Oh no, we see Greninja on support now with Delphi moving over to DPS. Quite frankly, the respect for decorum is completely shot here, CB.
It's all over the place. For a second there, Tyler was also flashing a Ramatra, and I was about to be like, no. Don't go walking out with 2 tanks. That's...
I think that if they were able to do that, then something's wrong with the code. But hey, oh, Tyler, oh no, we caught that on camera too, Tyler. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tyler, something's wrong with the code. It's messing with the Junkrat mines, not letting you fly as high. We'll give that one to you.
Exactly. That was definitely not your fault here that you scuffed that up. That was purely on us. So. But nonetheless, Delphi is taken down there by Chief. Haruhiro as well is down as Tyler is on to flank. But that is not working out as Frozen put the business to Indigo there, as Aurum is going to hold firm here on the early points. LCS trying to find a kill, pops for recall, will take down Akua, crouches a couple times, lets him know, hey, don't forget about me. Is now back in the back line again, trying to see what they can continue to mix up here. But here comes the rest of the team, and you got to feel like LCS might be in a bit of trouble here.
Absolutely, but they're able to live for so long, and the rest of Indigo are actually coming up. Yeah, LCS did not fall that entire time. He's able to stay alive for what felt like forever, while Aurum is dedicating so many resources to trying to get that pesky fly out of their backline, and they just couldn't do it.
Greninja is taking matters into his own hands on the Mercy here with the Glock out. Delphi has taken down LCS. Finally, the pest has been taken out of the picture here. But it looks like Indigo, nonetheless, is going to be continuing to push through here. Akua taken down. Haruhiro with that Earth Shatter. Could decide to Earth Shatter here onto the Kiriko just for funsies. I kind of want to see it. Just because it would be... Yes, so he did. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you,
I think I just saw that Kiriko go to the moon.
True dog. True dogger is shambles again.
Use that cart like a seesaw and just launch the Kiriko straight into orbit. Holy moly. My bad in the chat.
That was just he fat figured he fat figured the button. I understand it. It happens to the best of us. You know, it's just fortunate for him. But here comes the rally now from Zephyr. Delphi legit 1-8, not anymore. 1 HP for a moment, but Aurum now pushing through. Rip tire in for Tyler. Tyler just not having a good. Oh no, Tyler finds Akua there.
All right. All right, unfortunate misplay with the Rip Tire there. Not able to find a lot going into that overclock, but able to find a pickoff and still live for a little bit longer there. But I think that ends up just kind of being a stagger, as it's going to take Indigo a little bit longer to regroup here. LCS, though, going for a little bit of a cheeky spawn camp here.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
I don't even have words for all the teabagging we're seeing. The casters the observers are catching every single one of them.
I mean, it's an effective, by the way, teabagging is a mean thing to do, but in the All-Star game, it's encouraged. We're having fun here tonight. But here we go. That being said, Tyler is, again, kind of all on his own, trying to see what he is doing. True dong.
Just killed like 3, I think.
I finally, okay, man. All right, True Donger. True Donger's been having a bit of a rough go of it here with a lot of little cheeky kills onto him, but he finally gets a little bit of vengeance there before being taken down by Tyler. Greninja with the aggressive res, bringing True Donger back into it, and the hold will continue here for Aurum. And like you said before, this is a tough hill to get through.
Absolutely. Fortunately, you don't have any Widowmaker or long-range hit scans on the side of Aurum that you have to worry about, but you do have to worry about the pressure from Haruhiro on this Reinhardt with the Shatter. You do have to worry about the pressure from the Bastion, constantly putting pressure onto your shield, and you have to worry about Akua being in your backlines, and apparently you have to worry about True Donger being on the DPS, just taking out the contemporary Kiriko and always just being a threat.
The flake on the flake here. They're sitting in the. They're ready to take your order. It looks like is what's going on here. As the, is that like a, what is that there? Is that like a coffee shop or what? No, what is that?
A little boutique.
Sure. Oh, it's like a boutique. Okay, all right, fair enough. Delphi popping the ultimate from the boutique there. We see Tyler right now sitting with that Riptire is going to get absolutely rolled by Akua, who was lurking and waiting in the wings for a very long time. Now with that Pulse Bomb, gonna pop it and find LCS. There's Akua, the DPS from Amnesia with the 3K. Akua coming up big here in the All-Star match.
And now we're going to see a real, true spawn hold as Frozen's got a shield right up on the enemy spawn door. Haruhiro in no man's land currently. Chrome Zephyr trying their hardest to keep him alive, but no dice there. He's going to fall, and I mean, he doesn't have to go very far. We're right back at the enemy spawn. Don't do that, no. No, you can't.
Oh, no, CB, you can. You can, CB.
LCS is just walking away with the cart.
All right, we'll see how this goes. LCS now up against Greninja. Greninja here pulling out the Glock, seeing what they can do with the Mercy here. Greninja absolutely destroys LCS, who LCS, forgetting the main thing with Sombra, put your translocator out, LCS.
Also forgot about the Mercy pistol buffs. That Glock is a little bit more deadly than it once was, even though that's something of a meme these days. We find itself rearing its ugly head here in this All-Stars game.
And there is the Kitsune rush in now from Indigo. Gonna push the rest of the way up the hill. Haruhiro going deep here, trying to finish charging that Earth Shatter. VC not really benefiting anymore from that Kitsune rush, but he created a ton of space for Indigo to be able to push as LCS is going to take down Akua here. LCS on the Sombra, the 360 shatter into absolutely nothing from Haruhiro, but Delphi gonna find 2 there, and that's gonna start leading the charge back now for Aurum.
That whole time that Indigo was pushing, no one was pushing the cart. Chief actually had to go back just to get on the cart and keep the progress going, and that might actually be Indigo just shooting themselves in the foot there, as they're not going to be able to touch. They have LCS on the cart, but facing its old nemesis Greninja.
And Greninja just letting them know that who is the superior DPS. It is the Mercy, it seems. Greninja absolutely gapping LCS on the support, and that is impressive there from Greninja. And CB, that we have a win there for Aurum. That is 2, I believe, for Aurum here so far.
Yeah, it's 2-0. If I could resurrect a dead meme, that Mercy pistol does a surprising amount of damage.
That is a surprising amount of damage.
A surprising amount of damage. And the LCS actually does a great job with, switching that Sombra to try and get the back cap and force the rest of Aurum away from that spawn door. And it does actually work out despite losing that duel. And they managed to get almost to the end of the checkpoint. But again, they got really, really aggressive and tried to push Aurum back into their spawn, but no one was on the cart. And then by the time they go back, it's just, one sad, lonely Baptiste. Take care of him. OT takes over. An even sadder, more lonely Sombra. A couple quick Mercy shots to the dome and some tactical crouching, and that's all she wrote.
That's all she wrote. We got a lead right now for Aurum. We are going to head to our 10-minute halftime before we come back to, well, we'll call it the funny part of the evening as we get into some of our more silly mapped modes. But we have that coming up here. 10-minute halftime. We'll be back in just a few moments. That moment where you're that moment where you're, welcome back, gamers, and here we are again with the Transcendence tier All-Star match. Once again, I am Mr. Yeti, joined tonight by CB, and CB, we have had a very entertaining start to the night.
Yeah, you said right before the break that we were about to get into the silly portion of the night, and I'm like, were we not already? Like, we've kind of had a little bit of a back and forth going on. Like, it's not hyper competitive, but Frozen and Hero Hero butchered that. They came to play and established their dominance over one another. But everything else around it, the flanks, the hero picks, the role swaps have all just been completely off the wall, a joy to see, and I feel like it's only going to get better with our next map. Here.
I can't agree with you more. The next map is King's Row, and what better? At King's Row, we have heard it called Goat's Row, we've heard it called the Brawl map, and what better way to celebrate all that is Brawl than only allowing yourself to play Reinhardt and Brigitte. That's right, it's the Rein and Brig only Brawl on King's Row. Things will get medieval here on King's Row tonight, as Aurum and Indigo will go to battle with hammers and flails and shields, and occasionally a fire strike, I guess, too. But nonetheless, it's going to be an entertaining one.
I said earlier that I was interested to see this Rein and Brig only 1v1, or sorry, not 1v1, this Rein and Brig only matchup here. But seeing the Reins that we've already seen in play today, I am exponentially more excited for it. Also of note is a 120% movement speed enabled for this one as well. Yeah. So we're going to be seeing some heckin' fast Reins and some and some Brig play to support it. We'll see as Brawl can be.
We have a pause. Something wasn't confirmed and secured and done correctly. Apparently, the comps need to be reevaluated. I think we're having a problem there. Nonetheless, we go to a pause here as these teams are not quite ready to go, unfortunately. Sorry, producer in our ears just telling us what the observers should be doing. We're just like, hey, we're here too. CB, I have to ask, when you're playing Overwatch, what is your typical role?
I am a support main.
Sure.
I am an Ana one-trick pony at this point. She's been my main pretty much ever since she came out. I am also known around my my collegiate roles for Zen and trying to pick up the Kiriko, but I mean, this season and as of late, I've just kind of resigned myself back to Ana forever. I am grandma. I'll just be hitting big nades till I die and hope for the best.
And hope for the best. I mean, while we have a moment here, this is your first Tranquility cast. I guess what's great is, you know, we have an opportunity. Like, tell us about your experience in casting at Overwatch. We're curious. We want to get to know you.
Well, my experience with Overwatch is that I've been playing it pretty much ever since the game came out on the open beta back in 2016. I've been playing pretty much competitively for most of that time, anywhere from, you know, Diamond tier up to Grandmasters teams. I've played on a couple of Open Division teams back in the day. Kind of realized that I'm, you know, too old, too washed in order to really stick to it. So resigned myself to casting for collegiate back at Drexel University, and now I have found my way to the Tranquility family.
Well, we certainly appreciate you being a part of it as the festivities have begun and the Reinhardts begin the charge into the spawn room here as Aurum begins to fall. Actually, it looks like Indigo is going to get the push out here and going to be able to be getting that start to take some progress on the point, but it looks like everybody's just resigning themselves to a lot of pins right now, which really I can't blame them. That's part of the fun.
Indigo going with an interesting strategy here. Chrome Zephyr was on the Brig, but is swapping over to the Rein, so it looks like they're just going for a pure damage comp here. And it doesn't seem to be working out all that well as Aurum is taking some ground here and starting to really plant their flag on the point.
Smugs right now, the only Brigitte on the field, and that is going to be effective here for Aurum as Indigo tries to flip the coin a little bit here, but they're not able to. Well, Adelphi right now is the only one there, and there's an Earth Shatter in from Tyler. Gonna put Delphi on the ground, and another Earth Shatter for PDK as PDK is going to finish that one off. And it does look like that Indigo is going to be able to hold off here just a little bit longer.
Another Shatter onto Frozen just for a statement there from LCS. Indigo actually are able to make it work, giving up only just shy of 2 ticks, but they are in danger here as Smugs and Delphi team up to take on PDK, take him down, and now we're going right back the way we came.
The rally is in from Smugs to try to get something going here for Aurum, but the Earth Shatter is a massive one from Chief. Chief at 9 HP. 9 HP and a dream, Chief. My goodness, Chief finds 3 kills as Indigo continues the chase to the spawn room.
All right, nobody sneeze or Chief will fall over and croak. There's no healers on Indigo, so like he's got to, you know, go hunting for health packs or just, you know, resign himself to swinging his hammer until he dies. And he does go down swinging, but he goes down hard with that Earth Shatter.
That was a big one from Truedonger there, right before Truedonger fell. Smugs asking the question in chat, why am I blocking 2 shatters and none of the other Ryans on my team can block any? I don't know, Smugs. That is a fair question. But LCS right now finding himself in a creative position, to say it bluntly here. And they both come charging around the corner here, but that is probably going to end poorly as it looks like Aurum is starting to come back, but it looks like they're completely abandoning Frozen over there. I'm sorry, Truedonger. I'm not sure. One of the Reinhardts, CB. I don't know what's just going on right now.
Whichever one. One of them just got pinned right into a light pole right past our eyes, and oh my goodness.
LCS just absolutely shattered Greninja out of his armor there. My goodness. That was very impressive.
Aurum actually going to go for a little bit of an interesting play here. Going to double up on their Brigitte, so, you know, twice as much shield, twice as much Earth Shatter blocking power as they once had. And it doesn't even seem like they need it right now as Truedonger Frozen just coming through, cleaning up Indigo, and going to start making some headway through this archway and start making their way through Streets phase here.
You know, the 3 and 2 is probably the correct strategy if we're speaking of the Rein and Brigitte meta, if we ever speak of that. I don't know that we do, but apparently we are here now, and we are doing that. But 2 Reins, 2 Brigittas pushing up. The Earth Shatter from Frozen puts a couple of Reinhardts on the ground. Chrome Zephyr finding themselves in the graveyard here as Chief very low, but with an Earth Shatter of his own, looking to put it to use. 44 HP and a dream as Chief got another low HP run in him. The answer to that question is maybe. Nope. Not at all.
Poor Chief turns around. He's looking for that mega health pack, and Tyler just yoinked it right out from under his nose. And he turns around with the shield up, like, "Oh no, please, no one look at me."
And another Earth Shatter. Frozen finding a couple there as that Earth Shatter comes through from that. I believe that was actually Delphi on that Earth Shatter there. But what a normally I could just look at the feed or look at the ult charges and determine, but I can't. I'm not 100% sure. This is insane. This is a lot to watch.
In the chat, Delphi gonna go ahead and make a call. Guys, he has Shatter. Someone maybe check his PC. That's not information he should have access to. Quite the deduction there, Sherlock.
That's a very brilliant move there. Chief with a brilliant move of his own. Finding 3 is Chief going on the hunt, wanting a little bit more, trying to chase down Smugs. Chief is on that hunt right now, but LCS is going to find Delphi there, taking away the 5K. Really dishonorable move there from LCS.
Dude, that was a survival horror moment there for Smugs. Just a bunch of angry Reinhardts charging at you straight down a narrow hallway. Goodness, I'm going to have nightmares about that one. And Aurum, it seems whenever things go awry, they add another Brigitte to the mix. So now Frozen is the lone Reinhardt with 4 squires surrounding him. Make that 2 as the rest. Okay, they're all falling. Never mind. Frozen on his own.
I mean, I respect the pocket Frozen play. Protect the president is kind of the play it seems like Aurum is going with right now. But Indigo is just popping the Reinhardts out here and waiting. Epic heal. Epic waiting right now for Chrome Zephyr. Gets the what a huge play from Chrome Zephyr.
Hey, Tyler, where you going, buddy? What are you doing out back here? The rest of Aurum has no clue that Tyler is here, and I don't even know if Tyler knows where he is right now.
Tyler on the flank, looking for perhaps a flank shatter, but they will need to wait approximately 40 seconds before they can do that because they don't even have a shatter yet. But PDK did have an Earth Shatter, puts Frozen down, and then the charge through finds Truedonger, but another charge in from Delphi, and Delphi goes onto the ground as Chief with the Earth Shatter puts him under the dirt. And we see rally now from Smugs trying to turn it around here. Earth Shatter from LCS is absolutely pointless but nonetheless, it is still just far too much Indigo right now. The Reinhardt beef is working.
I guess, yeah, if you just have that much health, no need to heal it back up. You just do all the damage with the hammer and go again. Lather, rinse, repeat. And apparently that's enough to stop Aurum from getting the end of checkpoint B.
I am impressed and also quite puzzled, but here we are now. Nonetheless, the map is completed. I mean, it was definitely interesting because normally I'm so used to watching health bars like replenish themselves in the scoreboard here. Just watching Indigo health bars just stay stagnant for long periods of time was very disorienting. CB, I don't know how I feel about what I'm witnessing right now.
I think I kind of went into this with the wrong mindset because I was like, all right, so here's what the Briggs have to do. They have to avoid going for the counter pins because, you know, they'll die if they do. They're very flimsy. They just got to hit the whip shots, try and get the sustain, use the rally to keep everybody alive. Indigo just threw all of that out the window and just said, no, more meat.
Where's the beef is the question right there. The old Wendy's slogan. Yes, I am a boomer. But Indigo seems to have found it. We do see a major comp switch now from LCS moving over to the Brigida. An interesting choice here for Indigo, changing it up, putting LCS onto the Brigida. Is this another throw from LCS? That is the question that chat is wondering. And I have to ask the chat, is LCS throwing? Just a simple yes or no, or LCS is
that looks like a no. That looks like a no. Switch right back to the Ryan. LCS knows what's up.
LCS is switching back to the Ryan. The charge is on. The tackles are ongoing here. My goodness. The charge is... really, everybody should have the football player skin. I feel like that would just be appropriate given what we're witnessing right now. But PDK swinging that hammer like crazy, going very low, picks up the mini health pack, is going to continue to maintain that presence here. Just far too much pressure and damage from the side of Indigo as they continue to apply pressure. Trudonger very alone and now very, very not alive is Trudonger as Indigo with an impressive start here.
Very impressive. Again, with no healing, they're able to just cling to life, and they're going for the Chad plays here. On low HP, where a stray hammer could easily clean their clock, they go for the charge and still manage to find the pins. That was a huge pin there from PDK, and despite the health bars on the rest of Indigo still being low, LCS and Chrome Zephyr are still like, they still go for it. They pay for it with their lives, but the mantra for Indigo seems to be the only key we need is W.
What an Earthshatter we just witnessed there from PDK, but it's going to enable 3 kills there, 3 Reinhardts in the ground for Aurum, as Indigo is going to continue to apply the pressure. The one thing they are not applying, however, is cart progression, which is an unfortunate error there from Indigo. Indigo forgetting the main objective, but here comes Chief to save the day, and Reinhardt pushing that cart forward as God intended, it seems. And here we go with the charge, and almost. How did that happen?
He's got sticky feet or something. I don't know how he managed to hold on there. That was almost an incredible play there from Tyler, but...
Physics defying is what we just witnessed there. The laws of physics do not apply to elderly German men, it seems. As Trudonger at 49 HP and a dream. That's
the fastest way to heal yourself, honestly. That's kind of a...
I respect it. It's a good play.
You have to respect it. Greninja now putting a little bit of pressure on the cart, kind of forcing Indigo back to play a little bit more. I mean, that and the fact that they were sent back to spawn, and it seemed that their strategy is whoever died last gets to be the cart carrier.
It worked, and Frozen with a huge Earthshatter immediately countered, though, by Chief. What an Earthshatter there from Frozen. From the top rope comes in, finds a crazy Earthshatter, but immediately countered by Chief. That was an insane play, and Trudonger again in shambles in match chat. I feel like I've said that a lot tonight, but I feel like it's just been the case.
And like a Chad move from Chief also to go for that counter shatter, clean out the rest of Aurum, and then to just plant his hammer down on the cart and say, everyone else go on without me.
LCS coming in from long range there with that Earthshatter, feeding his way into the back line. There's 3 down now for Indigo, so it does look like this charge forward is going to end as Frozen looking to get in there and do some business. taken down Chief. Smugs also dropped on the Brigida. Frozen finds another one, however. Smugs now, hey, look at this. We have 10 Reinhardts
Let's go.
in play. There we go. Finally, we're forgetting Brigida. Brigida was not necessary for this. We're just going Reinhardts, and we're just having some fun.
Brigida's just, you know, apparently in this composition, too flimsy. Just not nearly enough meat and not nearly enough self-sustain in order to stave off 5 Reinhardt hammers and various shatters coming out at any given moment.
And a nice Earth Shatter block there from one of the red Reinhardts. And I say that because I literally cannot keep up with which Reinhardt is blocking these Earth Shatters. But we see lots of Ryan swinging right now. Trudonger, the last Reinhardt alive, but it does not matter as Indigo will get on the board. And that is going to be a 1-2 score now, with Indigo trying to pull off the unbelievable reverse sweep here in the Transcendence Tier All-Star match.
Play of the game had to be Chief. It is going to be that Chad play, is it not? Well, I mean, one of the many.
I mean, Chief just got 3K there, and that's it. And there's not much else to do. It's just literally the one moment of 3K, and that's it. I mean, hey, you know what? Can't argue with the result there from Chief. Chief's definitely standing out there for Indigo as they put their first point on the board. That was probably the silliest moment of the night we have tonight. Here is that map, but we still have a lot more left to go, including coming up later on tonight. We have the No Limits on Eichenwald, which you got to figure we're going to see some absolute stupidity in that. But in the interim, the next map is actually Mystery Heroes on Ilios, with we're playing all 3 points, so it should be a lot of fun.
I mean, we were almost kind of playing Mystery Heroes a little bit when we were back on Circuit Royale, so we got a little bit of a taste of what we're gonna see here. But I mean, with Mystery Heroes, whichever team gets Reinhardt first, I think at this rate is gonna win. Like, that just seems to be the go-to hero for everybody. All the big plays, Reinhardts. If you're a Rein fan, then this has been your night.
It has been. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, I'm a big Reinhardt player. I haven't had an opportunity to call Earth Shatters very much in many of the games I've casted this season. So having the opportunity to cast that there, where I got to call so many Shatters, my throat hurts. You know, I'm pretty happy about that.
This is just making up for lost time.
Exactly. This is why it's in the All-Star match, is because I desperately needed to call a few Earth Shatters and get excited about Reinhardt plays, because I just don't get to see it, because everybody's like, well, I want to play Roadhog, and I hate it. But hey, here we are. That's great. Here we are.
We actually haven't seen any Roadhog today so far. We've seen, we've seen a lot of Sigma, we've seen a lot of Reinhardt, a touch of Doomfist here and there, but no Roadhog. So, none of that dishonest, none of that ladder stomping, just, good, clean 1v1s on the tank heroes that are fun to watch and fun to cast.
There are a lot of people in the streaming community who say that the game is more fun and the game is more healthy when a hero like Hog isn't meta. And I mean, that just makes our All-Star game better, because we don't have a bunch of Roadhogs. At least that's my opinion. But
I quite like casting the Rush v Rush most of the time. Getting some Rein, Lucio, Ana, because I'm personally biased, but nowadays that's going to be Kiriko more often than not.
Yep.
So be it. I'll take it. But Rush v Rush is a lot of fun to cast because you have a lot of interactions going on with the shields, with the Earth Shatters. You have the mind games between the tanks. You have the DPS able to work around the shields, find flank angles, and have their pop-off moments. It's a lot less, hook, die, now we're up in the fight, and you just roll over. Roadhog has his place in the game, but please, let me have some Ryan, please.
His place is in the hero roster, just there, though. Like, if somebody you pass over when you're trying to get to more fun tanks. But nonetheless, they don't get to choose what they pick this time either, because we are now going over to Mystery Heroes on Ilios. So again, we are playing all 3 points regardless. I'm sorry, not Ilios, on Busan. Pardon me. I wrote this map, or I wrote how this match was going to be played. You think I would know it? Here we are.
All right, Chief is on the Reinhardt, so be looking for Indigo to take a very early lead here, I'm sure. Haruhiro on the Widowmaker and PDK on that Ashe, so the only DPS in a world of tanks. They might have missed the memo on how GOATS is actually supposed to be played here.
Who needs healers? I think that's what we learned the most from watching the Rhine Brig, is who needs healers. We see Delphi right now in the backline on the Genji going up against Haruhiro. Akua is going to take down Haruhiro as the Shimada Bros from Aurum are going to start pushing in. But PDK on the Ashe. PDK, those of you who may not know, top 100 DPS player. Certainly impressive DPS from PDK. Looking for team, by the way. Tier 3, just so you know. Shout out to my boy PDK. But anyways, Akua finding LCS there with that pickoff. Akua on the Hanzo, very effective. But the first cap is going to go to Ingo.
The PDK definitely impressed me with some of those shots on the Ashe there and the ability to stay alive despite the absence of healers until now. We do have a Zen and we have a Brigitte on the field now, but Chief doesn't really care about Brigitte's being on the field. As we saw, he'll wipe those clean off the map, send him back to spawn. Roll the dice again, Greninja. Let's see if you come up with something a little bit more sustainable.
Chrome Zephyr unfortunately rolled his way into the dishonest hero in Overwatch, which is Roadhog. We have Roadhog on the field, so immediately we're guaranteed to lose about 5 viewers, I believe. But nonetheless, here we are. The Bastion piling some bullets into Chrome Zephyr there, who's taken very low with only LCS for healing options for Chrome. He's going to have to crouch and hide and hope for the best here with a couple of Vapes trying to stay in this one as Chief leading the front line here for Indigo. Piling forward here is Chief, and Chrome Zephyr now with that ultimate in hand after getting the pick onto Greninja. Here comes the ultimate from Chrome Zephyr, the Billing Boomers support player, switching over to the Pig, and the Pig is oinking right now, folks. That is Chrome Zephyr with a big push for Indigo.
That's one of the things about Mystery Heroes is because, you know, when you die, you switch your heroes and your ult charge goes back down to 0, so you don't often have time to build up these ults that in a typical game of Overwatch kind of dictate the whole way that the game goes. So when you live long enough to get an impactful one like that one from PDK right there, you actually make a huge difference for your team.
It can be fight defining in these Mystery Heroes games, getting those ultimate. PDK with a very, very strong ultimate there. But Delphi now with the whole hog, popping it here, sending Indigo off the high ground, looking for a hook, finds absolute air. But lots very low right now for Indigo as the pressure continued to pile on from Delphi on the Roadhog. And the cap now for Aurum as Indigo at 95%.
Zephyr being wiped off of that Roadhog. Maybe those 5 viewers will come back, or maybe not because Delphi is still alive and well on the Dishonest Hero as well. No healers in sight yet again, so everyone's just kind of playing conservatively and trying to play around where they think the health packs are if they haven't already been snatched out from under them.
True Donger on the Ramatra. We haven't seen a whole lot of Ramatra this season in Tranquility as well. Joined in just a little bit too late into the run of things to see much Ramatra. But here we go. Ramatra now in play from True Donger. Correction, Ramatra now out of play for True Donger as True Donger is dead. But PDK finding another PDK yet again with another on the Ashe. We saw them very effective early on. Then they rolled back into it, and that's a very spooky combination there.
Yeah. Whatever RNG deity you believe in is definitely smiling on PDK right now to keep giving this Ashe back to him. Aurum is just trying to get bodies on the point here and stagger this out as Indigo has it pushed into OT, but Chief is just cleaning them up left and right, and that looks like it's going to be it for point A on Mecha Base.
Indigo taking point A. Fantastic RNG, like you said, working in their favor. I mean, it is Mystery Heroes, so, you know, RNG tends to be a defining factor in a lot of this, and you know there's a reason why Mystery Heroes isn't a competitive mode, and we're seeing it right now again for Indigo, because look at that roster, my goodness.
Could you imagine going into your lobbies and seeing some guy flashing a top 500 Mystery Heroes emblem?
I wish that was the thing. I really want it to be. Blizzard, make it so. Aaron Keller, I know you're listening. You're an avid Tranquility watcher, so you could make it so, right? Right?
Is that more or less valuable than a top 500 Lucio Ball, do you think?
I mean, top 500 Lucio Ball is better than being top 500 normally, in my opinion, because Lucio Ball is the greatest of game modes.
All right, very, very fair. All right, we actually do have some healers on the side of Aurum here. Interesting. We'll see how we're able to sustain and if they're able to get some presence on the point here early on.
The tank charge is on right now for Indigo. They just pile forward LCS and PDK. We see Chrome Zephyr finding a couple of kills there, taking down Delphi on the Ramatra, and Akua taking down PDK. Akua on the Hanzo finds one of the tanks trying to work on this Roadhog, and that's just not going to work out for you there. I was about to say not going to work out for you there, Chief, but that didn't feel appropriate because Chief on the Roadhog there finds another kill. That's the first cap for Indigo.
It very much so worked out for Chief, who again lucks out and gets Roadhog. And I guess in Mystery Heroes, if you get Roadhog, you just win because you don't need a healer. You have a vape in your back pocket. You just, you know, take a quick hit. You're good to go again, and hit hooks.
Akua seemed to have been AFK there for a second. Unfortunate. Then Delphi is saying he's uninstalling the game. So unfortunate for Delphi. We hate to see you go, but you know we enjoyed your stay. Nonetheless, Chief continuing to apply pressure here on that Roadhog. Chief, for those who don't know, Chief has a very interesting history here in Tranquility as the fight is back underway. I'll explain in a second. Haruhiro right now on that Lucio. So again, healing now in play for Indigo. Speeding around that Roadhog is Haruhiro. They actually have a 1-2-2 comp. It's the rarity, it's the unicorn of Mystery Heroes.
And it's actually not that far off of the meta comp that we see most people playing.
Really
you know,
not.
We have the right tank, we have the right healers, and you know, Hanzo and Soldier aren't terrible DPS to have for a comp like this. I mean, you know, you could probably do a little bit better with like, you know, your Tracer or your Sojourn, but close enough.
We have a Pharmercy now. Look at this. Another two. We had briefly a 1-2-2 duel going on here. Very, very briefly. But Chief taking Truedonger out of the sky. But the res now going in from Greninja is going to bring us back to 1-2-2 Overwatch. And we actually get a Kitsune rush here from Greninja. Truedonger, unfortunately, is down. But Chrome Zephyr with that tack visor going to start applying pressure onto Aurum as they try to push through this choke. And we see a Dragon Strike as well. So now seeing a ton of ultimates from Indigo here. PDK had the Kitsune rush, but dies. Unfortunate. You hate to lose your ultimate here in Mystery Heroes, but that is just what happened. Delphi very low, but they're going to get Chrome Zephyr as the Dragon Blade now in from Frozen. Finds LCS, looking for yet another one to get on here, and Haruhiro taken down as well. We do see the Pharmercy again. Truedonger on that far, I believe. Oh, because Truedonger killed themselves.
Yeah,
so,
very fortunate actually, you know, being able to kill yourself at that last possible second and keep the Pharmercy comp that gained you as much ground as it did, and finding that pickoff onto PDK, wiping that Kitsune rush off the map, very, very valuable. That's your go button. You just push W at that point, honestly.
Truedonger right now on this Pharmercy with Greninja, pushing through here. We see the Coal Hog now from Chief. Putting some pressure onto Truedonger and Delphi, but Delphi answering back with a whole hog of his own as Frozen now in the back line.
Oh, please peel.
Looking at LCS, poor LCS all alone there with Frozen. That is not going to end well for LCS, you have to figure. Truedonger finishing off PDK there. We're back on the point as the pressure on the point continues here from Indigo. They're going to get a hook onto Akua, and that is going to start the overtime win because they do get the flip. The fight is still far from won, however, here for Indigo. They do get the great hook on a Greninja, but Greninja is going to sneak away with that Valkyrie. And there comes the Ramatra punching his way through Chrome Zephyr. We see a huge hook from Chief. What a hook from on a Truedonger there. Again, Ramatra in play, sending those nanobots at Chief, trying to neutralize that Roadhog a little bit. But Chief is just too strong on the point as he switches into that Nemesis form and again begins trying to punch his way through Chief. But what a great biotic grenade there from LCS is going to make it awfully hard to get done, and the whole hog is going to end that one for Chief. And that is 2-0. That is a map win now for Indigo, regardless of how point 3 goes.
That's going to put us at 2-2. And Real recognized Real. Excellent job on the Ana there for LCS to be able to stay alive under the pressure from that Genji and force Frozen away and still be able to live, come back with a huge nade. I mean, you know, deny the heals on Aurum, even though they don't really have all that much in the way of healing at their disposal. But that damage and denying that possibility at all does help Chief secure the kills. Can we have one round, though, please, RNG gods, where we don't see a Roadhog?
Nope.
Roadhog
is no.
I have a feeling Aurum's going to take this round now because they have the Roadhog, but we'll see if Indigo, you know, if they play Hero Roulette and land on the winning number here.
Well, when you have so many skilled players in one space, I mean, Mystery Heroes is typically not the bastion of skill that you would see at this level with a bunch of Masters and GM players here in the Transcendence here All-Star match. So, of course, naturally, you're going to see that incredible Roadhog play that you wouldn't normally see in your average Mystery Heroes with some, 40-year-old boomer on the sticks working his way through the bronze. I'm not talking about myself or anything like that. But anyways, moving on with my life, here we go. Akua on the Sigma finds a couple there and leads the way for Aurum as they're going to get that first cap.
I'm actually curious to see what Indigo ends up doing with the comp that they've stumbled across here with the Sombra. We'll see if anything comes out of that. That's not quite like having a healer, but if you start playing around health packs, you can maybe get somewhere.
Absolutely here, but the push continues right now for Aurum. What a push indeed, as Frozen now on Pharah. Not a Far Mercy, but the Pharah alone is effective here at pushing back Indigo, who puts the entire team back in the spawn room. Horror Hero trying to stay alive. They're halfway to that Riptire, so that is a potent ultimate on the table, as LCS now on the Mercy is going to enable Horror Hero to start really applying some pressure here.
You can tell that the RNG gods they're done with giving Indigo any favors, because they have not given Horror Hero that Torbjorn or that Reinhardt that we've seen him be so effective with. Forced on the Rat against the Pharah, and then forced back to spawn. Roll the dice again. We'll see what comes out of that one.
Now, Horror Hero does come back with 30% ultimate there, because they did charge sufficient enough ultimate there, which I'm not sure if that's actually supposed to happen in normal Mystery Heroes, but here we are. We're not going to change it now. It's a little late for that, but Greninja right now on the Roadhog, continuing to apply pressure to Indigo, trying to push them back towards their spawn room. Roadhog really is just absolutely dominant here in Mystery Heroes. But that being said, Indigo does have Horror Hero now on... Chief? You good?
Typically for a spawn camp, you do have to have an enemy player die, and no one on Aurum has done that yet, so Chief on a bit of a misplay. Okay, Delphi needs to watch his back now, though. PDK able to find him means now Chief is dangerous. He wasn't before, but now he is.
PDK finding a couple there, so Chief now able to actually do something there. Chief going after the Lucio, probably not the hero to go after. Should have probably considered hanging back and looking for something else. So Chief on the creative spawn camp there, absolutely pointless. But that being said, that's you hate to see it right there for Indigo. But nonetheless, that being said, Indigo still took the map, still looking at a reverse sweep situation. They tie it up 2-2. Heading into our final map of the night, which again is No Limits on Eichenwald. So should see some creativity here. But back to Mystery Heroes for a moment. It really is defined by Roadhog, isn't it?
It really is. I want to give one more shout out to Chief really quick, though. I saw the gears turning. He's just plotting, twirling his mustache, rubbing his hands together. And the one thing he did not count on was a heckin' speedy frog just ignoring him. Excellent way to close out Mystery Heroes. I could not have scripted that better myself.
Nope. I think it was basically the perfect situation there for that spawn camp to be rendered absolutely as ineffective as possible there by, I believe that was Delphi, just basically ignoring it and running away. So gotta respect it, gotta love it, and that was a point win there for Aurum, but again, it was a map win for Indigo, as Indigo right now, again, tying the score at 2, moving into your final map of the night, which again, No Limits on Eichenwald. So we can expect some interesting choices here. And I hate suggesting this, because I mean, if we want to get dishonest here, if we want to get like absolutely as dishonest as possible, like LA Valiant moving to China, potentially dishonest here, are we thinking like 5 Roadhogs? Should I speak it into existence, CB?
I was gonna say don't speak that into existence, but you've already kind of let the cat out of the bag there.
I did.
That's a Pandora's box that we're not gonna be able to close that one up. If they heard you, or if they got that idea in their heads, we could see 5, potentially 10 Roadhogs. And
True.
I mean, I was kind of hoping that going into this that we might see more Reinhardts, because it's Eichenwald, it's home field advantage. Gotta pay your respects. But the ultimate disrespect, I guess, would be to just see a 5 versus 5 Roadhog only mirror.
Part of me wants it and the other part of me does not. And if it does happen, we just protest and we don't cast it. That's actually, how it's gonna end up.
I'll take it back. There is one situation under which I would want to see a 5 versus 5 Roadhog only, and that is Ilios Well. That's it.
That's fair. That is fair. That is completely fair. I like that.
Give me competitive 10 hogs, 1 hole, and you know what? We can work with that.
I believe CBU just provided me with the an idea for event week for next season, which something we can look forward to. Perhaps that should be a lot of fun. But we'll talk about that come next season. By the way, season 10 applications, guys. Before we get into our next map, season 10 applications are open. So if you are looking to get into Tranquility next season, in season 10, starting at the very end of February here, applications are open. You can find those in announcements right now. So go get your application in. We look forward to seeing you guys here for season 10. We're starting our application reviews on that in just about 2 weeks here. So sooner the better, guys. Get those applications in. You don't want to miss your opportunity to get in to the excitement that is Tranquility Gaming as we get ready here with our next matchup on, again, No Limits. And we see double Kiriko, double Zarya, and 5 Jugrats.
The rats, we're the rats. Let's go. Let's see which one of them is the giant rat that makes all of the rules. And we'll see. They're just going to be feeding these Zaryas a lot of energy charge here. I've never seen anything quite like this. The first rat has fallen, as has the second.
The first rat indeed is down, and that is just so much charge. Frozen glowing right there on the Zarya. And I think in the end, PDK, this isn't even fun. Well, you're the one who chose to play 5 Junkrats, which in a way I respect it. Is Aurum going with a slightly more creative approach here. Akua shifting over to the Kiriko, bringing in 3 Kirikos. It's the protect the Frozen comp right now for Aurum.
You know, if Indigo switched to just 1 healer, this much sheer horsepower with the Orisa, nothing would ever die.
I see what you did there.
I worked it in there just a little bit.
I respect it. I have nothing but respect for it. Tyler pushing in there, all been very low health, no healers for Indigo. So again, Aurum could slowly but surely pressure this composition down if they decided to play, just play like some, Hanzos or something like that. Slowly work through them. But instead, it's just Smugs clicking heads right here for Aurum. Smugs, of course, as you would expect, how to counter a Orisa apparently is a Widowmaker. Smugs finding a couple heads there. Chrome Zephyr being sent back, trying to run away. But it's going to be tough to escape here with all that pressure from this comp from Aurum.
That's one of the. That's why Indigo needs a healer in order to make 4 Orisas work, because you can keep Orisa sustained for a very, very long time, but the sheer amount of damage from a Zarya and Widow headshots, you're not going to be able to stick around for quite as long. Speaking of Widow headshots, we're going to be seeing a few more of those going back and forth as Indigo has opted to grab 3 Widowmakers of their own now, deciding Orisa was not enough. They got to find a new way to break through this offense from Aurum.
Sheaf in there popping the Terra Surge, not able to find anything. Smugs being an absolute menace on the Widowmaker here, finding a second, finding the third. Tyler trying the hook shot is not going to fly in Smugs' world. That's the Season 2 MVP, 3-time champion right there, finding a couple of headshots there. For Aurum, trying to push through, trying to hold off from this crazy reverse sweep. Smugs, again, on this Widowmaker, looking for more heads to click. We see a few Widowmakers in response, just a couple from Indigo. And we see Tyler, nonetheless, using Widowmaker's most effective weapon, the Fist.
Widowmaker, the well-known close-range hero. Smugs is... Chrome Zephyr is the only thing that is standing between Smugs and Widow dipping an entire enemy team. As Indigo, they're just falling.
Oh, Greninja finds 3 Widowmakers. Make that a 3 Widowmakers and a Ramatra there. Greninja leading the way on the Kiriko. PDK in shambles in the match chat right now, just criticizing the choices from Aurum, which Aurum responds, you played 5 Orisas. And I think that's a fair response, honestly, like you said.
Yeah, Chrome Zephyr, I think, is finally wised up. Indigo, they're upset about there being 3 Kirikos on the other team, but it's finally time for you to try at least 1 healer.
Chrome Zephyr shifting over to the Ana, which is, you know, an interesting choice considering there's a couple of cleanses coming in here for Aurum. But, you know, hey, whatever, it's all good. Nonetheless, that Biotic Grenade hits True Donger and nobody cleanses it, which is an interesting strategy there with 3 Kirikos. But nonetheless, you know, Aurum, you know, you guys, it's working out really well for you. The Frozen is sent back to the spawn room. PDK finding another head, taking down Akua as well. So Greninja now on that Kiriko again. It's been an absolute menace, but they are going to be held off for just a little longer.
In a regular Overwatch match, this is where I would say that, you know, Kiriko Suzu has a fair amount of counterplay. If you bait it out, then you can land a big anti-nade, but when there's 3 of them on the field that you have to worry about and play around, it becomes a little bit more spicy of a pick, but you have some Roadhogs on the side of Indigo and an Ana to help keep them sustained, so you are finally seeing Indigo able to mount some kind of a defense here. And the best defense is a strong offense from the enemy's old spawn, apparently, where PDK is currently lurking and clicking heads.
PDK finding another one there. LCS, fraud down. That's a horrible statement there from LCS. But Haruhiro with that whole hog putting some pressure on, finds Smugs with a very interesting Roadhog hook.
That looked like it was going for, I believe that was Greninja there, but as soon as Greninja just pieced out, it was like, all right, we'll take the Widow instead. Good enough for me.
This is good enough for me. True Donger right now, again, finding PDK. True Donger has been a bit of a menace tonight on this Kiriko. Smugs gets the hook from... That's another kind of question. Smugs is not having fun with these Roadhogs right now.
Is anyone having fun with Roadhogs right now?
No.
Smugs had the sights up and was able to get the clean headshot, but I mean, it was predicted. Just gets hooked in and pulled in. And there's another one down. Big grab comes out from Frozen, though. Haruhiro takes out True Dogger, but the rest of Aurum able to sustain here just a little bit longer. Big nade coming out as well from Chrome Zephyr.
Smugs right now back on the Widowmaker here, trying to find some heads to click. Preferably not Roadhog heads, but looks like he's going to take what he can get here. But the pressure did mount there. By the way, they already pushed through this point. This has just been all bonus time here for Indigo as they continue to pressure back Aurum past their spawn door. But here we go now as that Kitsune rush in from True Donger is trying to lead the way here for Aurum. We see a couple of kills come through, but it's just Smugs finding the only kill there. True Donger on the ground is going to be taken down. Indigo continuing to hold strong here on point C.
Well, it seems that Roadhog was in fact the answer, as it often always is. We've learned from our mistakes. No more 5 Orisas, no more 5 Junkrats. We've gone essentially whole hog here.
Smugs is defiantly standing in the face of Tyler here. Tyler is very low, hasn't popped his breather yet. Finally going to be able to do so. Smugs trying to 1v1 a hog on Widowmaker, and I respect it because they almost won, but oh no! Tyler sending Frozen to the bottom, but Akua finding a couple heads there. We've seen a lot of interesting kill trades, but the moral of the story is that card ain't moving.
If we're going to play Roadhog, I do want to say thank you to Tyler for bringing that little bit of Ilios well to Eichenwald here with that hook onto Frozen there. Very well played here. Wrecking Ball going to come out now from Chrome Zephyr, and it's not very effective.
It's surprisingly ineffective, which it should be completely expected, I guess. But oh no!
What sleep?
Oh no! True Dogger puts Tyler to... I'm not sure exactly what Tyler was doing, but that was a very interesting move there from True Dogger. I think they were going for the jump hook together into the well. The Harry Potter Voldemort move, I believe they call that. We see 4 Wrecking Balls now for Indigo, again with the creativity from Indigo, as Aurum, again, with the more scattered approach. But Indigo with they're just, you know, in many ways, this moment here embodies what the All-Star match is all about. As we see Haruhiro just absolutely disrespecting Frozen right there.
I want to give some respect to Aurum for trying to, like, piece together a strategy, come at this with an analytical approach and be like, all right, we're going to be faced with some problems, some puzzles. How do we crack it? How do we solve it? Meanwhile, Indigo's strategy seems to just be, how annoying can we be?
Yep.
We'll go with all the Wrecking Balls, Roadhogs left and right. We're opening up with 5 rats. I'm curious to see how this is going to go for their offense if they decide to go for something similar and just keep throwing bodies at the point in an endless war of attrition. And see if that works out for them, or if they're going to have to try and take this analytical approach that Aurum went through for most of their attacking phase until they kind of ran into a hog-shaped wall.
Right now, the question is what are we going to see in the next round here? Here comes the Wrecking Balls from Aurum as they send 5 balls out of the spawn room into Indigo here. Indigo coming out, it looks like with, well, they're coming out with 3 Wrecking Balls, a Roadhog, and a Pharah. So pretty standard compositions here by both teams.
It's very standard. Aurum has seen the light, and they have opted to play the meta. 5 annoying heroes. Doesn't matter which one, as long as it is infuriating to play against. Just go for 5 of those, and hopefully Indigo will tilt off the face of the planet.
PDK with the absolute disrespect here going on the Far Mercy, while Aurum goes 5 Wrecking Balls. So we get to see some creativity now from Aurum. You got to wonder what the plan is here on the opening roll through from Aurum. You got to figure we're going to see some pretty interesting slams from Indigo, or from Aurum. But that being said, there's really not a whole lot to slam, as Aurum is going to be forced out of here with all 5 Wrecking Balls dropping very low already. That's that Haruhiro swinging in, trying to stay alive. They will just barely stay alive with PDK on the Far Mercy here. Again, the disrespect of the 5v5 Wrecking Ball is absolutely real here.
Yeah, you know, you mentioned being a bit of a boomer. I don't want to call you out for your age or anything,
Hey,
but you ever play with like,
fine.
you ever play with like the clacker balls as a kid?
Yes.
This is like taking like 5 sets of those and just flailing your arm around wildly, and that's kind of what this match is shaping up to be so far.
Basically Newton's Cradle out there is what we're kind of looking at right now for Aurum. Indigo right now on 4 Wrecking Balls. PDK still on the Pharah, which is a questionably morally wrong move and will be reviewed by Tranquility staff. But that said here, Aurum right now still staying strong with the 5 Wrecking Balls. PDK still being the menace that he is, however, and is finally taken out of the sky by Smugs.
Health bars on Indigo looking a little bit low there, though, so they're probably going to have to go for a reset here. Yeah, perpetual motion, not forever. PDK has a rocket barrage here. We'll see if he can pin any of these Wrecking Balls down long enough for a rocket to hit them. Hopefully they can. Actually, oh, interesting. Swap over to the Reaper by Chief.
It's definitely interesting. We have that the Pharah in play here, looking for a big barrage. They go in. They're going to find at least Smugs, it looks like, with that. They're not able to get any damage onto him either, and that's going to be enough to send Aurum out of this one, it looks like, as Indigo is going to push through here. Akua finding Chrome Zephyr here, all the mines on the point. That is a lot of noise, and there's going to be actually 3 sets of mines now coming up for Aurum.
Yeah, it's I don't even know what jokes I could really make about it. Yeah, a lot of mines just going to be coming on the point here from the side of Aurum. I mean, we saw Akua like rolling right through a bunch of them and just popping like pop rocks. And Aurum, it's about to let it rip. True Donner goes for the first one. I'm not quite sure where those mines went, but I'm sure someone's about to find out.
Well, it looks like PDK might have been the one to find out there. True Donner and PDK with the trade-off there. As Akua now on the Diva with the changeover from Akua here. Swapping to the Diva, pushing back Haruhiro. Haruhiro will drop as Akua continues to apply some pressure here with this Diva. But the cart is kind of barely starting to move here as the kills continue to trade up, but it looks like Indigo is slowly building an advantage.
Yeah, Indigo has sacrificed some of their players, PDK and Chief, just to be able to go on this kind of counter-tank offense. As we've learned, tanks kind of busted in Overwatch. Healers, not necessary. When you got beef, you got beef.
Right.
PDK and Chief, their job, just chew through as much beef as possible. And they're doing a phenomenal job with the Bastion and the Reaper, 2 of the most potent anti-tank heroes.
It's true. Honestly, Wendy's, whenever you want to sponsor us, we are here. We are family. Wait, no, that's not right. Smugs is going in there, trying to supersize this one. Nope, that's not it either. But yeah, no, Wendy's, call us. But here we go with the push now from Chrome Zephyr with this Orisa. Orisa is an interesting spot right now in Overwatch 2. Very powerful tank. I kind of wish we got to see the 5 cows. Like you said, the horsepower composition could have been a lot of fun.
It could have been, but without the healers to sustain it, it eventually will topple over with enough damage.
We say Smugs take a spear there, is able to stay back alive, using the using, I forget what that move is called, but using the Doomfist maneuverability to be able to stay alive there, get back to the bridge on Eichenwald. Sorry about the struggle bus there. Chief with the solo ultimate onto Truedonger. The absolute disrespect of the man. My goodness. Truedonger replies, fan behavior, which, I mean, I'm a Truedonger fan. That's fair. I get it.
I would call myself a Truedonger fan after some of the plays.
Yeah.
That sleep dart earlier, definitely. And, you know, you do have to put someone down pretty hard for that level of disrespect with a little, you know, solo ult and some teabagging.
Oh, goodness. Tyler right now is very much in danger, but it's going to take down Truedonger. Truedonger, unfortunate. You hate to see it. We see the hook now onto Haruhiro. Frozen finishing off Haruhiro with Truedonger. The remake is in play here. Akua managing to get back into their mech. But that being said, it does look like Indigo will continue to hold off here as Orem unable to push that card any further.
What's interesting is that you have two Sombras on the field for Indigo, but you're not seeing a whole lot of, like, backcapping opportunity. They're opting to kind of, like, take duels with certain members of Indigo, or sorry, of Orem, and it's not panning out all that well. They might be going for hacks to try and set up the rest of their team for success here, but they're not nearly finding enough, and they're actually falling with Truedonger still on the prowl, hitting headshots left and right.
This does not seem to end. It just does not seem to want to end here, as the pressure will continue now for from Chrome Zephyr for Indigo, but Indigo will push this one forward. So it looks like Orem did have an advantage briefly, but Indigo now has an opportunity to cap it here. 30 seconds left on the clock. We are looking at the final fight. Greninja gets a late stagger, though, taken down by Tyler. And LCS points out Claude is down, but Tyler's down too. So we 4v4 now. The hook and a
big
crazy one. What a hook from Haruhiro onto Frozen, and my goodness, Frozen is gone. That's big for Indigo right now. They're pushing very close to point B. From Indigo right now with the opportunity to push this through, keep this game going. Doomfist ultimate in from Smugs, not able to find any kills, and that is going to be point B now for Indigo. And we're at a last minute 30 here for Indigo to push this through. Orem trying to hold off that reverse sweep here tonight.
This might actually be doable for Indigo. It looked really, really dicey there for a while, but once they were able to get those pickoffs and start to have that moment to breathe and collect themselves on the cart and get those hacks and those late stagger kills from the Sombras, you're actually able to mount quite a bit of headway here, and they're approaching the golden box of victory.
We see the Kitsune Rush and the Diva Bomb in self-destruct, not able to find anything, but the Kitsune Rush is holding off the attack for now. A couple of hacks in for both PDK and Tyler. We see the whole hog now in play as well from Haruhiro, so a lot of pressure can now be applied. The Diva trying to mitigate some of that whole hog damage, and Smugs on the Ramatra is going to take down Tyler. Kills trading will slowly begin to favor the defense here, but only 1.96 meters to go as Akua gets demech'd. This brief reset now for Indigo as they're getting ready to apply pressure again. Haruhiro very low, but an EMP is going to take down a couple here for PDK. PDK with a huge EMP. Truedonger is down. Big hack onto Frozen. He's not taken down. And an EMP from Greninja. Countering back only finds Chief, but it's enough to hold this off. There's 10 seconds left here, CB.
Some of those ults from Indigo might have been a little bit too ambitious. Letting that EMP go. Wait, we might actually get a little bit of a back cap here, but letting that EMP go as Haruhiro falls, you only have time to make this one little reset, and Tyler has to make this desperation touch just to even give Indigo that much. If they're able to pull off an ultimate here and turn the fight, but they're going to have to fight through a lot to do it.
And they're going to have to do it while dealing with the Oblivion that is the Ramatra ultimate. Smugs throwing hands right now on the point, finding two, finding a third, and that is going to be a map victory here. And holding off the reverse sweep is Orem. They will take the all-star match here 3-2 over Indigo in a fantastic conclusion to the night.
Absolutely. Like I was saying there, you know, having to have Tyler make that desperation push and then not being able to get out with his life there really didn't leave Indigo a whole lot of breathing room. They kind of had to rely on Chief building up to that Death Blossom, but they had to work through a sound barrier, and Ramatra's ult, the name escapes me at the time. annoying thing that's impossible to deal with because it's always up and does, stays up the longer it does damage. As long as anyone's attached to it, doesn't go away. It's a lot to try to work through that and a sound barrier without an ult to your name, and very unfortunate that they invest so much in the fight before and aren't able to have really much of anything left over to stave off Orum's defense at the very end there. Very well played from both teams. A little bit silly at times, if you can believe it, but
shocking.
But I think as far as an All-Stars game goes, like, you can't really ask for much better than what we've been treated with here today. All the silliness, all the weird hero picks, the random plays, a good team fight to clean it up, seal us off, wrap it all up in a bow. Excellent.
A great way to conclude Transcendence tier here in Season 9. And again, as a reminder, Season 10 is right around the corner. Get your applications in. Your initial application reviews are starting up here in a couple weeks. We are really excited to kick off Season 10, our first full season in Overwatch 2. Just as a note here as well, we also have Saturday coming up here. We have Underrepresented Minorities in Gaming Pug Night that'll be broadcasted here on this very channel. That is on the 7th, and I believe that's at 8:30 Eastern. In addition to that, we also have the Discord tier All-Star match tomorrow in our official last broadcast of Season 9. So we're really excited to bring you that. And also, one more time as a reminder, in addition to all of that, we have our League of Legends event starting up here next week. So something to tune in for here. Coming up real soon is our League of Legends event going on this off season. So despite it not being in the actual Tranquility tournament, there are still lots of things to look forward to here in Tranquility Gaming. But back to this match, CB, who was your favorite to watch overall tonight?
I gotta give the shout out to Smugs, but also to PDK, because some of those plays, early on in Shambali, those big flanks, and then mirroring those big flanks again with the Widowmaker. A lot of fun stuff from PDK, but some of the plays from Smugs were just incredible. As a support player, I have to give the shout to Smugs on that one.
It was a lot of fun. I'm a big Haru Hero fan after tonight. That was fun.
Absolutely.
That was a blast watching Haru Hero go up against Frozen. Definitely my favorite matchup of the night. So I got to give the nod to Haru Hero tonight as well. Congratulations to all of these players being named All-Stars in Tranquility. It's been amazing. A great season. Thank you all for being a part of it. Just as a reminder, if you're looking to support Tranquility in any way, the best ways you can do that, follow this channel, hit that bell so you can tune into our matchups. And if you're able to, you can certainly subscribe as well. Also, if you're interested in picking up any Tranquility merch, hit !store in the chat. You can go to shop.spreadshirt.com/tranquilitygg. You can pick up Trank merch just like this shirt right here, in addition to some other stuff as well. But for CB, I am Mr. Yeti. Thank you very much for tuning in, and a special shout out to our to our observers and directors here tonight. We have Laggy, we have I believe multiple people who I can't remember, and I'm very embarrassed by that. We have Hippie and Unfeatured, as Laggy angrily yells into my ear for not remembering his observers. But thank you very much, Laggy, Unfeatured, and Hippie, for your awesome work tonight. We definitely appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll see you again tomorrow.
Bye.